so elegant in that dress, darling. But white is a dangerous color to wear when you're playing with knives. A wedding toast or a funeral prayer, the scent of bitter almonds fills the air. You're clutching your pearls, you're acting the part, hiding the poison in your cold black heart. The chandelier is swinging in the midnight breeze, watching you fall down to your shaking knees. One drop of red on a sea of white, a permanent stain in the middle of the night. Tear it down, the masquerade is over. You're waking up cold and you're waking up sober. Tear it down, the lace is soaked in sin. There's no way out and there's no way in. The truth is the blade that's cutting you deep. There no white blankets watching the way you breathe. The secrets you're hiding up your lace trim sleeve. He saw the glass shatter, he heard the clock chime. He's mapped out the rhythm of your perfect crime. The high society walls are starting to crack, and there's no way for you to ever go back in this house. Everyone is a guest, but the truth is the hope. Tear it down, the masquerade is over. You're waking up cold and you're waking up sober. Tear it down, the lace is soaked in sin. There's no way out and there's no way in. The truth is the blade that's cutting you deep. White lace and a black-hearted lie. Lace and a black-hearted lie. You thought you were a partner, kid. Look at him. He's already got the dirt on the shovel and your name written on the bill. You're not a friend. You're a liability. You held the flashlight, you drove the car. You thought you'd be a king, you thought you'd go far. But now your hands are shaking like a leaf in the wind, realizing too late just how much you've sinned. One witness too many, that witness is you. The partner you trusted is sharpening his blade, and you're the final payment that's got to be made. Shut your mouth, kid, and pay what you owe. You're the first one to fall and the last one to know. The accomplice is dead, it's a heavy price. You're just a rat in a cage of your own device. He's gonna feed you to the wolves to save his own skin. while you're still trying to figure out where to begin. You've got the blood on your shoes, he's got the alibi, and no one's gonna listen when you start to cry. The detective is coming, and he's bringing the rain. There is no honor among thieves, there's only silence. Shut your mouth, kid, and pay what you owe. You're the first one to fall and the last one to know. The accomplice is dead, it's a heavy price. You're just a rat in a cage of your own device. He's already forgotten you, kid. One man running from the morning light. You checked your watch, you synchronized the light, but you forgot the shadow as you passed on by. The gears are turning, the springs are tight, counting down the seconds of your final flight. The pendulum is swinging, heavy and slow, measuring the distance you got left to go. The clock don't lie, it's screaming your name, frozen in the moment of your dirty little game. The clock don't lie, time's running out, drowning in the echo of your secret doubt. The hands of justice are pointing at you. Holding a golden pocket watch, looking for the dent and a tiny little notch. He saw the dust on the minute hand, he saw the way your alibi was built on sand. You can turn the dial, you can break the glass, but you can't stop the phantom of the hours that pass. Time is a witness that never takes a bribe. The clock don't lie, it's screaming your name, frozen in the moment of your dirty little game. The clock don't lie, time's running out, drowning in the echo of your secret doubt. The hands of justice are pointing at you. Midnight. For the very last time. think because his heart stopped, his mouth is shut. You're wrong, kid. The dead have a way of screaming louder than the living. You just gotta know how to listen. A cold hand pointing at the library door, a trail of ashes on the hardwood floor. You clean the knife, you burn the clothes, but secrets have a way of leaking through the toes of the very boots you're wearing right now. The air is heavy with the sound of a lie, and the truth is looking through a dead man's eye. Wake up, dead man, and tell us the tale of the hand that pushed and the soul for sale. Shut your mouth, kid. He's starting to speak, and the ground beneath you is getting real weak. Being what is leaning against the cold stone wall, waiting for the final piece of the master fall. He hears a whisper in the way you breathe. The ghost is pulling at your expensive sleeve. Dead men don't tell tales until they do. Of the hand that pushed and the soul for sale. Shut your mouth, kid. He's starting to speak, and the ground beneath you is getting real weak. He's wide awake, and he's looking at you. Check the list, kid. One silver spoon, 2 drops of hemlock, in a room full of people who'd kill for $1. The devil's doing his bookkeeping night. And the paper is old, a story of greed that's finally told. You're sitting at the table with a fake ass smile, thinking you've outrun the law by a mile. But there's a missing pill in the velvet case, and I can see the panic written on your face. The ledger is open, the numbers are red, counting the sins of the man who lies dead. Pay the price, the devil wants his cut. The door to your kingdom is finally shut. Pay the price, you traded your soul for a crown of glass and a heart the grand piano, singing a song in a dark soprano. He found the smudge on the library door and the trail of ashes on the marble floor. You can buy the jury, you can buy the press, but you can't buy a way out of this bloody mess. Justice is a slow-moving train, and you're tied to the tracks. Pay the price, the devil wants his cut. The door to your kingdom is finally shut. Pay the price, you traded your soul for a crown of glass and a hollow hole. No more running, the bill is due today. Balance the books in hell. Balance the books in hell. You thought you were so meticulous, kid, a perfect circle, but a donut always has a hole in the middle. And I just found what you tried to hide right in the center. A misplaced button, a stain on the rug, a tiny little twitch in your arrogant shrug. You built a fortress of how and why, but you forgot the most basic, simplest lie. I'm looking at the void where the truth should be, and it's shaped exactly like your guilty plea. The circle is closing, the gap is gone. You're running out of shadows to lean upon. Shut your mouth, kid, and look at the floor. I found a key to the final door. It's the donut sound of the hole in your soul, the one little piece that breaks your control. 15 minutes is all it took. To find a page you ripped from the book. You can scream at the sky, you can curse my name, but you're the only player left in this game. The gravity of justice is a heavy chain, and it's pulling you down through the cold and the rain. The hole is filled and the trap is sprung. Shut your mouth, kid, and look at the floor. I found a key to the final door. It's the donut sound of the hole in your soul, the one little piece that breaks your control. Case closed, and you're still just a You practiced his signature for 1,000 hours, didn't you? Copied the slant, the curve of the edge. But a dead man doesn't press that hard on the paper, kid. You wrote this with the fury of the living. A suicide note on a mahogany desk. scene you painted was almost grotesque. A final goodbye in a shaky hand to make us all think it went just like you planned. But the ink is too fresh and the grammar is wrong. A swan song for someone who lived far too long. The paper is crisp, but the story is old, and the lies in the margins are starting to fold. The fork farewell, a masterpiece of sin. The more you write, the more you're hemmed in. The fork farewell, every word is a trap, filling the holes in your alibi's map. You signed your own name in the blood of the dead. Benoit's holding the page till the morning light, seeing the ghosts of the things you didn't write. He saw the smudge from your trembling thumb, the final proof that you've become undone. You can't fake the peace of a soul that's at rest when you've got a devil beating inside your chest. The ink doesn't lie, even when the writer does. The fork farewell, a masterpiece of sin. The more you write, the more you're hemmed in. The fork farewell, every word is a trap, filling the holes in your alibi's map. You signed your own name in the blood of the dead. Piece of sin. The more you ride, the more you're hemmed in. The fork farewell, every word is a trap, filling the holes in your alibi's map. You signed your own name in the blood of the dead. I know it was you. Look at them all, dressed in black, crying for a man they couldn't wait to see in the ground. You can hide a lot behind a veil, kid, but you can't hide the smell of rot. The pews are full of vultures in silk and lace, each one wearing a borrowed grieving face. The preacher's talking about a soul gone to rest, while you're wondering what's locked inside the chest. Keep your head down, keep your eyes on the floor. The candles are flickering, the incense is there, and the performance you're giving is making me sick. Shut your mouth, kid, and save your fake tears. The truth is the only thing anyone hears. It's a funeral of lies, a parade of the dead. Everything's going shadows will swallow the light. But I see the way you're checking the time, waiting to inherit the fruits of your crime. Ashes to ashes, dust to the greedy. Shut your mouth, kid, and save your fake tears. The truth is the only thing anyone hears. It's a funeral of lies, a parade of the damned. Everything's going exactly as you planned. The ground is open, walk right in. Real pretty in that suit, son, but it's hard to look like a saint when you're standing in a pool of blood. The chandelier is shaking, the silver's turned to black. There's a knife-shaped shadow right across your back. You talk about your legacy, you talk about your pride, but we both know the monster that you're trying to hide. The fog is rolling in from the edge of the estate, and every door you locked just sealed your damn fate. It's a gentleman's trap, and you walk right in. Now the floorboards are screaming the name of your sin. It's a gentleman's trap. Watch the ivory turn to dust. There's no one left to call, no one left to trust. You spent half a lifetime climbing up the hill, just to end up broken by a dead man's will. The southern drawl is coming, and it's a slow, steady rain. It's gonna wash away the mask and leave only the stain. You can't buy silence when the ghost is the one talking. It's a gentleman's trap, and you walk right in. Now the floorboards are screaming the name of yourself. It's a gentleman's trap. Watch the ivory turn to dust. There's no one left to call, and no one left to trust. The donut hole is closing in on you. You can polish the silver all you want, darling. It still tastes like the blood you spilled to get it. foundation of lies, under the gaze of 1,000 glass eyes. The air is a vulture, the sister's a snake, waiting for the first little bone to break. The lawyer is silent, the safe box is cold, and your soul is the only thing left to be sold. Burn down the cage, let the secrets out. Is this the legacy you're screaming about? Burn down the cage, there's no place to run. You're sipping your bourbon, you're shaking your head, trying to ignore all the things that he said. But the detective is whistling a tune you both know, and the seeds of your ruin are starting to grow. Silence is expensive, but the truth is free. Let the secrets out. Is this the legacy you're screaming about? Burn down the cage, there's no place to run. The reckoning started before you were done. All that gold and you're still just a rat in a hole. Look at all these shards, kid. Each one is a piece of the story you tried to break. But be careful, the sharper the lie, the deeper it cuts when you try to sweep it away. 1,000,000 diamonds scattered on the floor, one less shadow walking through the door. The lights went out, the crystal fell, turning this mansion into a private hell. You claim you were standing by the garden wall, but I found a piece of you beneath it all. The glitter is fading, the edges are keen, watching the struggle of a guilty machine. Shatter the glass, let the light bleed in, expose the right and the original sin. The glass trap, you're bleeding from the soul, losing the grip of your desperate control. The reflection don't look like you anymore. Lights picking through the ruins of the night, finding the truth in the refraction of light. He saw the scratch on your expensive ring, he heard the hollow note you tried to sing. Every shard is a witness, every fragment is a clue, and they're all pointing straight back to you, yeah. You can't walk on broken glass without leaving a trail of red. Shatter the glass, let the light bleed in, expose the right and the original sin. The glass body, kid, but you can bury the noise it made when it fell. Now the ground is starting to breathe, and it's calling your name. The dirt is loose and the shovel is warm. Another secret is about to be born. You thought you left him where the grass don't grow, but there's a cold white light starting to show. The moon is a witness, the wind is a snitch, and you're just a ghost in a roadside ditch. You can't hide the smell of a guilty heart when the wooden box starts to fall apart. Wake up, sleeper, the earth is turning red. There's no more room for the secrets of the dead. The grave is hollow, but the dead is real. Locked in a cage of the things you had to steal. Run for the shadows, but the sun is gonna find you. Standing by the old oak tree, looking at the place where the truth used to be. He found the watch and he found the rain. He found the venom in the words you sing. You can wash your hands till the skin is gone, but the stain of the grave is gonna carry on. Silence doesn't stay buried, it just waits for the rain. Wake up, sleeper, the earth is turning red. There's no more room for the secrets of the dead. The grave is hollow, but the dead is real. Locked in a cage of the things you had to steal. Run for the shadows, but the sun is gonna find you. He's not in the ground, he's right behind you. Don't bother begging now. You had the chance to be a man, but you chose to be a ghost. The sun is coming up and you're still in the dark. Mansion's finally quiet after the storm, after the bloody riot. You thought the money would buy you a clean name, but all it bought was a seat in this hall of shame. I'm walking out and I'm not looking back at the life you wrecked, turning everything to black. The handcuffs are tight, the engine is running. That's the price you pay for being so cunning. Shut your mouth, kid, and face the gray. There's no more lies to light your way. Shut your mouth, kid, the verdict is in. Drowning in the weight of your own sin. The bitter end is all you've got left. In the car, lighting up a final smoke, watching your legacy go up in a cloud of coke. No more puzzles, no more donuts with holes. Just a long cold night for a couple broken souls. The sirens are fading, the world's moving on, and you'll be forgotten before the break of dawn. You broke the silence, but you never broke the law of truth. Shut your mouth, kid, and face the gray. There's no more lies to light your way. Shut your mouth, kid, the verdict is in. Drowning in the weight of your own sin. The bitter end is all you got left. All it took was a noise in your head.
Sit down, kid. The room is small, but the truth. Well, the truth is a very large thing. You look like you've seen a ghost. Or maybe you're just worried I'll find the one you tried to bury.
One clock on the wall, ticking like a heart. One story you told, falling apart.
Question.
Where was the key?
Answer.
You said in your coat.
Question.
Then why is there blood on the edge of the boat? The sweater's a confession you didn't mean to give. A very high price for a life you wanna live. Say it. The shadows are watching you. Say it. The dead man is calling you. One more lie and the floor's gonna break. How much more of this guilt can you take? Shut your mouth, kid, if you're gonna keep lying. I've got the glass and I've got the wine. I've got the clock that stopped at 9.
Explain the muddy shoes, son.
I was walking in the rain,
But it didn't rain until midnight, after he felt the pain. You're running out of air. You're running out of room. Tell me,
The shadows are watching you. Say it. The dead man is calling you. One more lie and the floor's gonna break. How much more of this guilt can you take? Shut your mouth, kid, if you're gonna keep lying.
That's what I thought. You always were a bad liar. You really thought you covered every track, didn't you? Painted a masterpiece of innocence. But even the best artist leaves a fingerprint on the frame, kid. The glass is white, the carpet is clean. You're the ghost that was never even seen. You checked the clock, you checked the gate, left it all to the hands of a twisted fate. But you forgot the shadow under the door, the one that saw you crawling on the floor. The perfect plan is a house of cards, and the wind is blowing through the backyard. Shut your mouth, kid, before the truth gets out. I can hear the silence of your hidden doubt. The perfect lie is the one you told yourself. Put your guilty conscience on a dusty shelf. Shut your mouth, kid. The cracks are starting to show. Whistling that same old tune under the light of a cold and bitter moon. He's looking at the math that doesn't add up, the poison left in the bottom of the cup. You can smile for the cameras, act like a saint, but the blood is leaking through the fresh white paint. A perfect crime is just a lie that hasn't been caught yet. Shut your mouth, kid, before the truth gets out. I can hear the silence of your hidden doubt. The perfect lie is the one you told yourself. Put your guilty conscience on a dusty shelf. Shut your mouth, kid. The cracks are starting to show. All it took was one loose thread. You're all salivating over that piece of paper, aren't you? Like a pack of starving dogs. But you forgot one thing, kid. That ink was mixed with cyanide. one touch, and you're as dead as the old man. The lawyer's reading from a dead man's heart, watching the family tear itself apart. You want the mansion, you want the gold, but you're already bought and you're already sold. A signature here, a little lie there. There's a smell of burning bridges in the air. The safe is open, the secret is out, and you're the only one left with a shadow of doubt. Shut your mouth, kid, and take your prize. A mountain of gold built on a mountain of lies. The poison inheritance, it's all yours now, with a crown of thorns upon your guilty brow. You're clutching the deed like it's a holy book, but you can't hide the way your fingers shook. The ghost in the hallway is laughing at you, because he knows exactly what you're gonna do. Money can't buy a clean pair of hands in a house built on shifting sand. Wealth is just a fancy word for what you stole. Shut your mouth, kid, and take your prize. A mountain of gold built on a mountain of lies. The poisoned inheritance, it's all yours now, with a crown of thorns upon your guilty brow. Enjoy the house. It's a beautiful tomb. Thought the room was empty, didn't you? No eyes, no ears, but the walls have a memory, kid. And that old painting over the mantel, it hasn't blinked once since the blood hit the floor. Oh, golden canvas, a century of dust, watching the iron begin to rust. You whispered the secret, you drew the blade, thinking the dead had been finally paid. But the eyes in the frame followed you home, through the dark valleys where you like to roam. Silence is a witness that never gets tired, waiting for the moment your time has expired. Hear the silence, it's screaming the truth, the ghost of your mercy, the ghost of your youth. The silent witness is watching you drown in the weight of the secret you're dragging through town. The truth don't need a tongue to tell on you. Benoit standing where the victim fell, listening to the stories the shadows tell. He saw the tilt of the frame on the wall, he heard the echo of the final call. You can burn the evidence, you can hide the key, but you can't hide from what the room can see. Every stone in this house is a grave for a loud. Hear the silence, you're screaming the truth, the ghost of your mercy, the ghost of your youth. The silent witness is watching you drown in the weight of the secret you're dragging through town. The truth don't need a tongue to tell on you. I'm listening. Are you? You got a gift, kid. You can spin a line to a gold thread and sell it back to the devil. But even the best talker eventually runs out of breath. And the truth is a very quiet listener, 1,000 words to hide a single sin, a crooked smile to let the darkness in. You're shaking hands, you're making deals, while the world is spinning under your heels. But there's a stutter in your perfect speech, and a secret just out of your reach. The charm is wearing thin, the mask is starting to slip. I can taste the
for the groove. He heard the crack in your elegant tone. He knows you're standing in this house alone. You can talk for an hour, talk for a day, but you can't talk the ghost of him away. Every word you speak is another nail in the coffin, biting the palm. The story's gone cold. The last of your lies has finally been sold. The silver pong is bleeding out red, choking on the things that you should have said. Silence is the only friend you've got left. Cat got your tongue, kid. Cat got your tongue, kid. Biting the tongue. Biting the tongue. Biting the
I don't care how many lawyers you got in your pocket, son. The truth doesn't take bribes, and he's got a real mean streak. A tweet of a bird, a crack in the floor. I've seen this movie 1,000 times before. You think you're the hunter, you think you're so sly, but I can see the guilty written right in your eye. The fog is thick, the donut is wide, and there's nowhere left for a snake to hide. Here comes a storm, and it's wearing a suit, digging up the ride from the very first root. The southern storm is gonna blow down your door and leave your perfect life shattered on the floor. One little thread is all that I need to unravel the garment of your dirty greed. You talk about honor, you talk about family, but all I see is a murderous tragedy. You can't outrun the man, knows the ending of the book. Here comes the storm, and it's wearing a suit, digging up the rod from the very first root. The southern storm is gonna blow down your door and leave your perfect life shattered on the floor.
You thought you were weaving a masterpiece, kid, but all you did was tie the noose around your own neck. One pull, that's all it takes. You told a lie to cover up the first one. Now you're staring at the barrel of a smoking gun. The web is thick, the silk is stained with red. Better watch the things that you haven't said. The floor is thin, the basement is deep, and you got promises that you can't keep. Pull the thread and watch it all burn. Lesson you're ever gonna learn. Pull the thread, let the garment fall. You're standing naked in front of them all. The detective is sitting in the corner chair, counting every breath of the heavy air. He's got the end of the string in his hand, walking you back to where you plan to kill. The more you tug, the tighter it gets. Pull the thread and watch it all burn. It's the only lesson you're ever gonna learn. Pull the thread, let the garment fall. You're standing naked in front of them all. It's unraveling, just like you. Look around the room, kid. Everyone's smiling, everyone's crying, but one of you is just waiting for the blood to dry. I can smell the gunpowder behind your expensive perfume. 13 chairs and a silver tray. Someone's gonna wish they stayed away. You're acting sharp, you're acting brave, but you're already standing on a fresh dug grave. A glass of bourbon to steady the hand, but you're the only one who doesn't understand why I'm here. The lights are flickering, the air is cold, the lie is getting heavy, the truth is getting old. There's a wolf in the parlor, wearing a mask, doing the devil's dirty little task. Shut your mouth, kid, before you slip. I can see the tremor on your lying lip. You think you're invisible in the middle of the crowd, but your guilty conscience is screaming too loud. I don't look at the body, I look at the eyes, that's where the monster usually hides. You can't wash away the shadow, no matter how hard you scrub. There's a wolf in the parlor, wearing a mask, doing the devil's dirty little task. Shut your mouth, kid, before you slip. I can see the tremor on your lying lip. I see those teeth. Behind that smile.